Okay, clearly I'm a professional. Hi everyone, welcome back to Pavonine Studios Beauty and Art. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Amy if you are new here. If you are returning, welcome back. I am going to play with some new things today. I got my set of brushes that I ordered from Sigma. This is the Eye Essentials set, I think, and this retails for, I believe, about $70. So you get 6 brushes for about $70. I think they're on sale right now. And there's lots of people out there that have like discount codes and stuff like that. But I wanted to give these a go. One of the things that I want to do this year is invest in better brushes. And I thought I would start with Sigma, and so I got those yesterday. So I'm super excited to play with those. I am not going to be using anything new for my eyeshadow today. I thought about it because I have the new, at least I think it's new, Violet Voss mini. These are the mini, I think there are 3 of them, mini palettes. I have the Forget Me Not one, which is the blue one. It's real pretty. I played with it a little bit yesterday, and you know, it's this color right here in the corner is really pretty. It reminds me of one of the ones from the BH Blueberry Muffin palette. But I'm excited to play with that. I'm just not going to play with it today because I have on the wrong color clothes. However, I am going to be playing with a few things that I've used before on my channel. But I thought I would go ahead and get out my Be Perfect Carnival 3 palette, my BH Cosmetics Naughty palette. This is the holiday release from 2020. And then possibly work in some of my Sydney Grace. I'm thinking of the green especially, but we'll see what happens. This is the Sydney Grace eyeshadows that I have, and I've used all of these things before. I've got videos on all these things, and I will try to remember to link some of those videos at least down below in the description box. Before we get started, my channel is definitely geared towards people who are interested in a little bit more colorful and dramatic looks, and especially if you are a little bit older. I am 51, and so you know there are some challenges when it comes to makeup on 50-year-old skin, 51-year-old skin, eyes, etc. But I still like to have fun, and I hope you do too, and hopefully some of this stuff will be a little bit inspiring to you. I have already got my eyes primed. I'm going to scoot in so that you can see a little bit better how everything goes. And oh, one more thing, I do have this is not a new foundation, and it's not a new foundation for me, but I did pick up a different color, and this is the Laura Mercier Flawless Lumiere foundation. So I already have the shade Cashew, and I wanted to pick up something just a little bit lighter, so I went with the next lighter neutral shade, which is 2 and 1.5 beige. Okay, I'm gonna scoot in and we're gonna get going. All right, so like I say, I've got my eyes primed. I just used the Gerard Cosmetics primer, and let me have a look here at what I've got in my collection that I've got out to possibly try today. I think I'm going to go into the color Clay, which is this one right here, from the Be Perfect Cosmetics palette. And like I say, I've got a new set of brushes, and I'm pretty interested in playing with some of these. These 2 right here are kind of like a flat but fluffy type of brush. That is the E25 and the E27. I've got like a fluffy diffused crease brush. This is the E38. I've got the Precision Firm Blender, which is the E42. I really like brushes that are this size for my eyes. I've got the Firm Blender. This is the E44. And I've got the Detail Diffused Crease Brush. I also like brushes like this because of the size of them. I'm going to use the E38, the Diffused Crease Brush, which is this one right here. And I am going to pick up that color Clay. So I'm just putting this in the sort of upper crease area. And I think because I'm wearing mostly gold and green today, I'm going to kind of stick with those colors. And I think I'll do a dark green on the outer corner here. And then we'll see. I've got, there's purple, pink, red, all kinds of colors in this little kimono top that I have. These are really nice, or at least this one is a really nice soft brush. I mean, I have dozens, maybe hundreds of brushes. You don't need that many. I tend to, I don't know, I tend to overbuy when I am interested in something like brushes, so I haven't bought anything new for a while. But yeah, so I've got a lot of inexpensive brushes. I got a lot of cheap, crappy brushes. And sometimes, they're just what you need, because you don't, I don't know, you don't need anything specific, or you want the firm plasticiness of some cheap brush. But most of the time you don't want that. You want some, especially if you've got a little bit older eyes and stuff, a softer brush is really nice because it moves the shadow and not so much your eye skin. I love this color. This is it's probably my favorite color in the whole Be Perfect palette. Um, don't go out and spend $60 or whatever this palette is for one color, but I am certainly pleased that I have it. Okay, so far so good. I am going to pick up, let's see, I'm going to actually pick up the smaller of those two sort of flat shader detail blending brush things. This is the E27. So that is this one that's kind of rounded but flattened. I'm going to pick up the color Forest from the Be Perfect palette. So that seemed to work pretty well. This is a pretty nice shape for my eyes. All right, I'm going to pick up the color Green Anjou from my Sydney Gray Shadows. It's this one right here. And I think I'm going to bring this green in, but I'm going to use that color. I think I'm going to use the Detail Diffused Crease Brush. This is the E33. I'm not sure that's quite bright enough for me. So I may go into that other color just to kind of layer over the top, but I'm going to do the same thing on this eye before I do that. I can definitely feel the pointiness of this brush, which is kind of nice, especially if it's a shadow that I want to really build up in the the crease and above. I think I'm going to go ahead and go into that bamboo shade in the Be Perfect palette, just because it's a little bit brighter of a color. It's not a huge difference, but I'm getting a little bit of gradient, I feel like, from layering that over that other one. So I'm kind of liking that. Okay, before I move on to my lid shade, I'm going to pick that flat one up again, and I'm going to pick up the color Evergreen from the Sydney Gray Shadows that I have, and that's this dark one. And if that's not quite dark enough, I will try Key Lime, which to me this doesn't look anything like Key Lime, but these are two dark greens out of this Sydney Grace collection that I have here. But I'm going to start with the one that's dark but a little bit brighter, less muted, And I'm just going to pop that in the corner here, right over what I used from the Be Perfect, but not quite as high. Okay, I'm going to pick up that, what is this called? This is the Firm Blender. And I'm going to basically use this over, this is the E44, by the way, over kind of where that yellow and those greens meet. And I'm just going to kind of sketch along there, make sure that things are pretty nicely blended. So I don't really want any like super harsh lines, but I don't want to lose that yellow either, that clay color. So this is the color Sweet Sop, and super pretty metallic, very very creamy feeling, and yeah, really really nice. All right, I don't know if this is going to be the best brush for picking up this shade, but we're going to give it a go. I'm just going to use that one that I was using for the dark green, and I'm going to pick that up with this brush, and we'll see how it goes on. So I feel like this would probably be going better. Not that it's going bad, just I think it would go better if the brush was a little shorter, like the bristles were a little bit shorter. So I was doing less of a blending motion kind of thing and more of a packing motion. So I'm definitely going to investigate that on the Sigma website. One of the cool things that they send you with your package is like a little pamphlet kind of thing that's got a picture of all their stuff, which I think is really nice, especially if you want to see something kind of in comparison to something else. That can be kind of difficult to do on a website, like size-wise especially. And I know so many people talk about the F80 foundation brush, and I am seriously considering getting that. I don't know how much it is, so I gotta look into that, because I want some nice brushes, but I need to have a little common sense as well. Normally I don't do a shimmery type of shade in my outer corner, but for some reason I just really want to use this color in here called Starfish, and it is a lovely sparkly metallic. I'm going to pick that up on the E42. We're going to see if I can lay just a little bit of that down in this outer corner. All right, I'm going to pick up that darker green, and I'm going to pick it up on the tip of this brush. I did clean this off a little bit, and I'm just going to see if I can deepen up my crease a little bit. Bring this green just a tiny bit higher, but I don't want to lose that yellow in any of those like brighter greens that I put down earlier, if I can help it. Okay, that seems nice. I'm just going to take this guy, this is the E25, I'm just going to kind of blend these edges a little bit, because I can, not because I necessarily feel like I need to. We're not going for perfect here, we're going for pretty good here. I think because I've got a little bit of red and gold and stuff in my top, I am going to work some kind of berry or red color on the lower lash line. All right, I'm going to clean this up a little bit because I do have some fallout, which is why I do my eyes first. And I will do my eyeliner, and I will come back and we will move on to the Laura Mercier foundation. All right, I'll be right back, guys. Okay, I'm back, I've got some sunscreen on and a little extra eye cream on, just because my skin's been so dry lately, and I want to go ahead and dive into this foundation. So this is supposed to be, I think, like a medium buildable foundation. I am going to shake it up because why not? Who doesn't enjoy this sound? I do enjoy this foundation. I really like it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bought a second shade of it. But like I mentioned before, Cashew's just a little bit dark for me right now. It's more of a summery shade for me. This is quite a thin formulation. I'm going to pick this up on my IT Cosmetics foundation brush. And I'm going to stipple this on, and then if I feel like I need to, I will go over it with a sponge like I always do. I will say that a lot of people, foundation instructions, things like that, will say to start on the middle of your face and blend outward. I don't do that because I don't like as much on the center of my face. I like a little bit more on my, my forehead and my cheeks and things like that. So I do exactly the opposite. But you do you, and if that works for you to go from the center outward, then by all means. But this seems to work for me. I will say that it does seem like it takes quite a bit of this foundation, quite a few pumps. The pumps are quite small. One thing I like about this foundation is that it does have a luminescence about it, not a sparkliness or anything like that. I've put foundations on like that and I don't like them. But this has a nice glow to it. And it's definitely one of the foundations that's on my list of favorites that I will be sharing very, very soon. I promise. So I'm going to go ahead and go over this with a sponge. This is, I forget which sponge this is. Sorry about that, guys. And it is dampened, but it is quite squeezed out, so it's not super wet or anything. And I'm just going to go over those places that I feel get a little heavy sometimes. My nose, my mouth. I will go ahead and do some concealer as well. I was at the mall yesterday. Yesterday was Martin Luther King Day. And I went to the mall to use some reward points that I had at a store. And it was pretty busy. I was kind of surprised. And then I remembered, oh yes, not only is it Martin Luther King Day, but it's also, a no school banking holiday kind of thing. So probably a number of people were off work and certainly out of school. So there you have it. There's the foundation. I am going to go ahead and put on the rest of my makeup, and I will come back to my lower lash line, and I'll finish up my thoughts about these brushes and this foundation, and yeah, I'll be right back, guys. Alright guys, I'm back and I've got the rest of my face on. I will link everything down below that I put on my face. It's nothing new, so I'm not going to take the time here to list it all. But I do want to go in with my lower lash line, and I want to use this color. I don't often use a metallic on my lower lash line, but this Sydney Grace color called Queen of Hearts is really, really pretty, and I want to put that on my lower lash line and bring a little bit of, a red berry kind of color to my look. And I'm just going to use like a little pencil brush and put a little bit of that on. I've got everything else done except for that and my mascara. And unfortunately, there's no pencil brush in the set that I got from Sigma, so which is okay because I've got some pencil brushes and I've got some decent ones, and so um, this one is not the best one that I have, but it is the one that was at hand. And I am super interested in trying a few more of the Sigma brushes because my experience today was quite good. And I mean, of course, it helps to have good eyeshadows to work with to begin with, but yeah, I'm pleased with how they felt. If I had to pick, if I had to pick a least favorite, it might be the Firm Blender, which was the biggest one. As far as a favorite, maybe this little guy right here, the detail blending, the E27. And I honestly, I didn't get to use the slightly bigger one, the E25, very much, but I suspect that this will also be a really nice and handy one to have. So I might pick up a few more brushes that are that size of that E27 and see what comes of that. And you know, I mean, I definitely want to expand my good brush collection, and hopefully that will mean that I can declutter some of my ones that are less good. I'm happy with them. I think it was money well spent. It was not a small amount of money, but it certainly wasn't like Wayne Goss or Reffer or Hakahodo or any of those really high-end brushes. You know, those are all definitely brushes and companies that are on my radar, but I'm not quite ready to pull the trigger on those quite yet. Okay, yeah, I think that was just what that needed. Just a little bit of warmth, and that honestly, Queen of Hearts is one of the ones that I was so interested in for Sydney Grace. It's like one of the ones that sort of got me to the website and made me put the, you know, click add to cart. Apparently add to cart about 20 times. The foundation I really like. I like this foundation a lot. And if you haven't tried it and you've got, especially if you've got like more mature skin, a little bit drier skin, and if you like a relatively glowy look, I don't mean greasy or anything, just glowy. I did powder because I wanted to use powder products, and I find most of the time it's easier to powder a little bit, just a little bit. You don't need, you know, to go in with the baking and all that stuff. Honestly, you don't, please don't do that. That drives me crazy when of course, you know, it looks good. I mean, it looks good on the young gals, but somebody my age, not so much. All right, guys, I think that's going to do it for my video today. Thank you so much for joining me while I played with some of these new to me products, and you know, I had a good time. I like the way my makeup turned out today, and I'm, yeah, so far very happy with the Sigma brushes. I have not washed them yet or anything, but I've never heard anybody like complain about them falling apart or anything like that. And so I have a lot of hope that these will be a good addition to my collection. And I think I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate your time here. You know that, I hope. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you are notified whenever I upload a new video, which is several times a week. And until my next video, bye guys.